Hey Spuds, how's it going? It's Jamie. Welcome back to another video, your first video on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm really warm today. It's very warm, and I would not be a Brit if I didn't mention the fact that it's really warm and I don't like how warm it is. So that's how we're kicking off the video. But the rest of today's video is not about the weather. Oh no, it is another installment of men writing women very badly. Like really badly. Terribly. It's really nothing, Your Grace, I told him. Odd though it may seem to you, women are far more practical than men. Perhaps because we're the ones who do the cooking. You want to be practical? Cook. Men are dreamers, but no matter how exalted a dream is, it won't bake a loaf of bread. I wondered why that was never happening for me. It's my dreaming. When you get right down to it, anyone who can run a kitchen can probably rule a domain, large or small. I've never seen women described generally as more practical than men who are described as dreamers. I'm sure I've seen it described the other way around. So that bit, like, not terrible, but the whole, like, it's because we cook, it's because we belong in the kitchen that we can do these things, and it's like... But yes, dreams do not bake bread. Confirmed. Descending from the chopper in her khaki shorts and white sleeveless top, Vittoria Vetra looked nothing like the bookish physicist he had expected. Lithe and graceful, she was tall, with chestnut skin and long black hair that swirled in the backwind of the rotors. I said rooters. Her face was unmistakably Italian, not overly beautiful, but possessing full, earthy features that even at 20 yards seemed to exude a raw sensuality. As the air currents buffeted her body, her clothes clung, accentuating her slender torso and small breasts. Was her earthy features like soil? Was it really necessary to be like not overly beautiful, but at 20 yards exude raw sensuality? It's not the worst description I've read, it's just a bit strange. Her name was Vita. She rested casually in her seat, her long black wavy hair falling seductively to her bare shoulders, tanned and splendid in a simple yellow sundress on this hot autumn day. Ample breasts. Unencumbered by supportive undergarments, bulging from beneath the ribbed bodice and displaying such robust and profound cleavage that it nearly made Castler dizzy. I'd like to know more about the simple yellow sundress, if I'm honest. Ample breasts. No bra. Bulging from beneath the ribbed bodice. Bulging is not a word I hear often used to describe breasts. Robust cleavage. Just interesting word choice. And I feel like a real running theme is just like boobs are always described. And they always get like a lengthy time of description. Yes, we really needed to know that much about her ample breasts. Ugh. And later on the page, there's just a bit that says, but actually set her breasts undulating with a most disquieting turbulence. Some of those words are not like the others. I think they're trying to describe a ripple. Yes, lifting the straps of a dress would cause boobs to go boo in a wave-like motion. No. Ah. Boob. Boob! Now, do you pronounce that boob or boob? Is it just like boob? Boob. 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 Look at that. Is that an elbow? Do you know, at first, I thought that her arm was like squishing down and in the boob up to the elbow, but now I'm realising that it's probably an elbow to the boob. The boob. We all know when you hit a boob, it has a very specific sound. The action noise of a boob hit is different to any other action noise you've ever heard. Boob. The first time Kusha saw the sun after her old memories died, it made her more curious than seeing her own breasts. At least you can touch your breasts, but you cannot touch the sun. What? Who was like, I want to describe awe and wonderment at the sun? A curiosity over this big burning ball of stuff in the sky, and I'm gonna compare it to breasts. You can touch your own breasts, you cannot touch the sun. Don't touch the sun, it's dangerous. There was a full-length mirror in the bedroom, and she stood before it examining herself. Were the goods good enough? Were the goods good enough? Would the offering be accepted? This is in Jaws. Is she being offered to a shark who likes cologne? Here is your dinner, it smells lovely. She had worked to keep in shape, to preserve the smoothness and sinuousness of youth. She could not bear the thought of rejection. If you reframe that and just pretend like she's going to be offered up to the shark for dinner, kind of makes it quite funny. Moving on. And again, like an interwoven thread of personality, a personality dictated by the demands of a body that could look nothing but blatantly inviting. Alice Bush had inadvertently lighted another fuse. He had the feeling that she would suddenly explode into 1,000 flying fragments of breast and hip and thigh, splashed over the landscape like a Dali painting. She's not a chicken. Breast is first. Flying fragments of breast. 4 words I never thought I'd read together. Somebody's written holy moly over the top of this. Holy moly indeed. I have an honest question as I'm trying to write a book myself. How can I describe the physique of a female character in a way that forms a picture without landing on a list like this? I mean, mentioning the chest is unavoidable, or we don't hear, like, his balls bulged from his Y fronts, undulating with every step. Just describe women as people, you know? We don't need to know the exact size, movement, squishiness of the breasts to get a mental image of what the character looks like. Patricia locked the bathroom door, then pulled Slick's sweater over her head and unfastened her brassiere. Slick's breasts were small and pale, and the way she was hunched over, the way her ribs stuck out, the way her breasts hung lifeless, she reminded Patricia of a plucked chicken. A plucked chicken. Her breasts hung lifeless? What do you expect them to be doing? Twerking in different directions, doing independent dances of each other, giving you a little wave and saying, hello. She had the kind of legs that kept her butt from resting on her shoes. That is the weirdest way to say that somebody's got long legs that I've ever heard. I'm assuming that they're trying to say that the character has long legs, but I don't know because it's such an odd description. She had the kind of legs that kept her butt from resting on her shoes. A size 8 dame in a size 6 dress, and every mug in the joint was rooting for the 2 sizes to make a break for it as they watched her wiggle in the door and shimmy onto a bar stool with her back to the door. Her butt doesn't rest on her shoes, that's what we learn. Yeah, wow. Now I'll tell you something, jazz something, which no woman should ever admit, which I hadn't admitted, not even to myself, until that moment. Did I read that wrong, or is that a very confusing sentence? Now, I'll tell you something, jazz something, which no woman should ever admit, which I hadn't admitted, not even to myself, until that moment. No, still doesn't make sense. Women are envious creatures. Can we stop using the word creatures to describe any person? And the good-looking ones are more so than others. But now I admit it because I know it's true. Except I didn't know how true until I saw this Karen. This Karen. Karen? As in like Karens or someone called Karen? I don't know if this is written from the perspective of another woman. It kind of reads that way. Yeah, so let's just pit women against each other and let's boil it down to looks. This will sound nitpicky, but it's very dehumanizing. Like creatures, good-looking ones more so than others. It just is all very... It just makes me uncomfortable. Let's just lump all women together. Yeah, you're all envious. And if you're attractive, you're even more. And what? It doesn't make sense. But though she tried to probe her memory, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce, I hope I did that right, could come up with nothing else. She looked around, stared at her palms, inspected the shape of her fingernails, and grabbed her breasts through her shirt to check the shape. No change, same size and shape, I'm still the same me, the world is still the same world, but something has started to change. She could feel it. What, in her breasts? She's inspecting her fingernails, and then grabs the breasts. Yes, that's the next step. Hands okay? Yep, right, let's check the boobies. And by determining that they are the same size and shape, all is good. Okie dokie. That was interesting, wasn't it? Did we like this visit into men writing women? If you did like the video, think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure if you don't. And yeah, as always, I will see you next time. Much love. Bye.